Okay, so here we're going to solve simultaneous equations. Now that means we need a solution for this guy here. We need an xy number that makes this guy work, but we also need an xy number to make this guy work here as well, right? So we're looking for numbers for x and for y that satisfy this equation and make it true, and another number for x and y that make this equation true. They satisfy both equations, and it has to be the same xy pair of numbers for both equations, right? So that's why we say simultaneous, means at the same time. Now, one method you can do using a graphical solution using technology is just go ahead and draw the lines on your technology, and you will find the crossover point is the point of intersection. Okay, that's a nice maths word, intersection, the crossover. And you'll find this coordinate here, where the x is 1, that's the first number here, and the y is 4.5. Okay, so that means that if we take x equals 1, and we substitute here, and we take y of 4.5 and substitute it here, this will be true. But also, if we take the x is 1 and we substitute it here, and we take the y is 4.5 and substitute it here, this will also be true. Okay? So we say that this solution, x equals 1, y is 4.5, solves both equations at the same time. It solves both equations simultaneously. So we can easily do this on technology. You guys have got the knowledge how to do that. But we're going to focus on the harder version, is now using algebra. Okay, so using algebra, you'll be given the two equations. And again, the equations have to have some y's and x's in them. And then we will step through how to do this. All right, so let me get a red here. And we will do step 1. And then we have to make y equals. Okay, so the maths word is to rearrange for y. Okay, so let's show you how to do that. So we look at the left equation. Here's the y. Keep that 2y together and get this 3x to 0. All right, so your first step on this left equation is to subtract 3x from the whole equation. The left-hand side becomes 2y. The right-hand side becomes 12 minus 3x. And then the second step is this is 2 times y, so we get rid of the 2 by dividing. And then the next stage would be just to have y equals, and then the right hand side we also have to divide by 2. We are finished. Now over to this side. We have 4y here. We have plus 5x. Try and get this 5x to 0. And we do that by subtracting 5x. So we subtract 5x, the first stage here. On the left-hand side, we just left with 4y. On the right-hand side, 23 minus 5x. And now the second stage is this is 4 times y. Get rid of the 4 times here. It comes over here and it divides. So let's write down that. Y equals 23 minus 5x, all divided by the 4. Okay, step 1 is complete. Now step 2. We do y equals y, and then solve. Now that sounds a bit weird, so let's just take that through. Here we've got y on its own, we've got y on its own. So if we want to make these y's the same, then we also have to make the other side the same as each other. And that's what we are going to try and solve now. So we are going to try and solve the following equation. We're going to try and solve 12 minus 3x over 2 is equal to 23 minus 5x, all divided by 4. Now let me just copy that equation. And paste it here. Now the good news is that these denominators are easy to get rid of. They can just come to the other side and multiply all of the other side, because the 4 is dividing all of this side, so the 4 will come up here and multiply all of this other side. All right, so it's best to actually put a little bracket around the top, the numerator, and now when we move the numbers, it's called cross multiplying. All right, so let's just see what it looks like now. This 4 comes up here to multiply, and the 2 comes up here to multiply. So let's just go and write that next line. The 4 comes up to multiply, and the 2 comes up to the other side to multiply. And now we expand the brackets. 4 times 12 is 48. 4 times 3 is 12. That's a minus. And on the other side we expand. And now we do the final step. From here we just go ahead and solve for x. So we are solving for x. It might be a little bit hard at this stage, but let's just go through the steps. Have a look where the x's are. This is minus 12x, and this is minus 10x. Okay? Now, think about our number line. There's 0. Minus 10 is here, and minus 12 is here. We can see that minus 12 is lower. So we always say, which is the lower amount of x? Make it to 0. So I can think that I'm going to plus 12x to make this go back up to 0. But I also must 12x here, plus 12x. So that is the first step we do. I'm going to plus 12x to all sides. I'll put it over here just so we can make it clearer. And then the left-hand side's got 48, because remember the minus 12x plus 12x goes to 0. And the right-hand side is 46, and negative 10x plus 12x. So think about what happens there. If I've got minus 10 plus 12, I think I'm left on 2x, right? So on the right-hand side, left-hand side 48, 46 plus 2x, and now you guys have got it. Look, keep the 2x where it is, make the 46 to 0. Okay, so subtract 46 from both sides. Left-hand side is 2, the right-hand side is 2x, and now you can actually just go ahead and divide by 2. You'll find that x equals to 1. Alright, now we've got x equals to 1, we want to go all the way back to the start, and we can choose any of the equations to substitute the x back into. So you could go back and make x equals 1 in here, or make x equals 1 in here. But we've also rearranged, right? We could make x equals 1 here, or we could make x equals 1 here. It doesn't matter which of those 4 equations we choose to find the y. Maybe let's just take this one, 3x plus 2y equals 12. So we've got 3 times by the x plus 2y equals 12. And you can see that 2y equals to 9, because we subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals to 4.5. So it's a long process using algebra. It's tough, but let's see the answers that we've got. We've actually got x equals to 1 and y equals to 4.5. That looks quite familiar, right? Because in fact, x equals to 1, y equals to 4.5 is the correct answer. Okay?